From Southern Colorado's high-definition news leader, this is News Channel 13, where the news comes first.
We're tracking snow falling all over southern Colorado. I've got the snowfall totals and when you can expect it to stop coming up.
From fall to winter in less than a day, slick streets covered in snow. We're watching the roads for you tonight. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dana Clemens.
I'm Greg Miller. That was a sign of what you just saw there. People getting out at one point to help each other because everybody is getting stuck in this right now. First up tonight is the weather. The roads are slick and icy in Colorado Springs and all of southern Colorado. The Colorado Springs Police Department is on accident alert status, as is the Colorado State Patrol in both El Paso County and Teller counties, meaning if you get into an accident, everybody's okay. Just exchange your insurance information and you've got 72 hours to report that in later, but basically they are swamped with calls right now, which is why they're asking for just the immediate cases to be reported.
Absolutely. They've responded to several crashes across the city. Traffic on the I-25 Bijou off-ramp had to be stopped earlier today due to an accident. This was a car that slid into the ramp there.
Yeah, and Michael Hudson sent us this video of multiple cars stuck on Rangewood this afternoon, and you can see this has been the theme across all of Colorado Springs and many others of you, I should say, who are watching us tonight. We want to know where the snow is right now and where it's headed next. Storm Tracker 13's Mike Everett here now with an update. Mike?
Greg, Dana, yeah, no surprise that snow falling all over the region this evening. Came in like gangbusters earlier today, kind of a gray, cold morning, and then once it did start falling, it started falling very strongly, has been continually moving all the way up and down the I-25 corridor. So looking at Travel Tracker right now, I-25, Highway 24, and of course a lot of the feeder streets right now, those are really the big issues. It is very, very slippery outside. Just took a walk out into the parking lot to pick up my jacket before I walked in, or before we started this evening. It's even slippery out walking tonight. Taking a quick look around right now, Woodland Park, it's already 21 degrees there. You do see traffic moving on 24. Same thing in Monument, 21 degrees there as well. The wind, also a big factor tonight. That coming in from the northwest, kicking up to about 15-20 miles an hour. Could see some gusts up to about 30 tonight, and that will definitely be a factor in your driving conditions tonight. One more look right now, Colorado Springs in Motor City, courtesy of our Phil Long camera, 22 degrees, and I-25 has been, well, keeping going, but still very slippery conditions. If you're wondering where the snow is right now, well, it's basically everywhere, all the way up and down the I-25 corridor. It made its way into Denver early, now starting to make its way off to the east. But as we take some close looks around here, Colorado Springs, you're starting to see a little bit of a break in some of that cover, but it has been coming in fairly consistently throughout the day today. Same story in Pueblo. Last couple of storms, you guys got a hall pass on this one. Not today. You've still got some strong bands of snow, which will continue to fall through the evening there. Quick look up in Woodland Park. Some good news there. I-24, you're continuing to see some of that snow falling along I-24, but at least in Woodland Park and parts of Teller County, already starting to get a break from the action there. And a quick look down south as well along I-25. This area was completely covered about a half hour ago, and now starting to see a little bit of a break in the action there. Going through the evening tonight, well, it's going to get cold, and we're going to continue to see that snowfall. So great night to stay inside, but if you can't, if you absolutely have to head out tonight, take it easy. Those roads are very, very slick. We're going to see those temperatures go into the 20s by the time we get to midnight tonight. Looking for 23 in Colorado Springs, looking for 24 in Pueblo. We've got Angelica Lombardi, who is live close to UCCS. Angelica, what are you seeing up there?
Well, Mike, as you said, we're up here near UCCS on top of that hill where this is an area that's notorious for slide-offs and accidents as you head up this hill. Earlier today, we saw several accidents. It's going pretty slow. You can see now cars are still going pretty slow, but there's no major backups compared to what we saw here earlier today. Now, other areas around the city are still pretty slick. We saw several accidents throughout the day. Take a look at an accident we caught near Bijou and I-25 on the north ramp. We found a car that slammed into a guardrail. Of course, under the underpasses and bridges, those areas often are more slick than others. Now, we've seen several cars all across town get stuck going up hills. We actually spoke to one man who helped push a stranded driver to safety.
I was crossing the Bijou Bridge, going to the west, of course, towards the mountains. And as I was coming across the first part of the bridge, I noticed that there was a lady, or a driver anyway, that was stuck trying to get up the hill. It's only a slight hill, but as you can tell, the weather, it's really, really icy.
And although things look like they are calming down snow-wise, it is still pretty cold, and as Mike mentioned, those roads are starting to ice over and are slick. So again, like Mike said, if you have to travel, make sure you just take it slow. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated. Greg and Dana, back to you.
Of course, the big question you've been asking all day on social media, where are the plows? We have Corey Farkas with the Colorado Springs Street Divisions on the phone with us right now. Corey, good evening. We've heard about crashes all over the Springs, stalled cars, creating some problems on Austin Bluffs earlier this afternoon. So where are the plows right now?
We've got a full call out citywide, so our plows are all over the city at this point. We've got about 40 plows out throughout the city and trying to take care of the roads. Kind of a timing issue with this one. We were waiting for the snow to come in. As the snow started slowly, it started to melt on the roadways, and then it came in really quick with some heavy banding, and that's when it starts to really build up. So we had some really slushy roads out there early, but we're citywide right now treating.
And Corey, we were showing our viewers I-25 and Strathmore. And this is the big questions on Facebook too have been, what is the response at this point?
Was this one slower?
No, we were expecting this to come in this morning between 7 o'clock and 10 a.m. This morning, and it didn't come in. It was a little delayed, and we were just kind of on standby at that point in time. And then when it did come in, it came in really fast with some heavy banding snow. To get our 40 trucks out on the roadway, to get our personnel in and out on the roadway, it takes us a good 45 minutes to an hour to get out and respond once we are activated. And at the speed of the snow, when it started to fall, we got out as quickly as we could. And then when we did get out, again, timing issue, whenever we get out and it's right around that rush hour time frame, our plows get stuck in traffic just like everyone else. So it makes it very difficult for us to do our jobs when we're on the roadways. Was
pre-treating an option in this case? I mean, we knew the storm was coming for a few days.
Pre-treating is always an option, and it's something that we typically do on a lot of our hills when we think it's necessary. We have a rather small liquid de-icing program here in the city with our capacity, so we like to save a lot of our liquids for our saddle tanks in our plows.
And what are the worst area drivers need to avoid now?
As usual, the north end of town is obviously worse than the south end. We've been watching a lot of the streets in the south end of town. A lot of them are looking good downtown, etc. When you start to get north of that Austin Bluffs area, the roads really start to tighten up a little bit. Again, we had a lot of melting. We had very warm weather previous to this storm. So we had a lot of melting once this started hitting, which gave us a lot of slush, which with the cold temperatures this evening, as our de-icers start to melt that snow, it has the potential to start to ice over. We're looking forward to this banding snow to get out of here, hopefully between the 10 o'clock and midnight hour, and then our AM shift that'll be in at midnight should be able to clean up the roadways before morning rush.
All right, well, Corey, we know your crews have a long night and a long couple of days ahead. We thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Yep. And you have been sending in your pictures all day as this storm hit. Thanks to Virgil Earp for this window view from near World Arena this afternoon. It's picture perfect, beautiful if you don't have to be out in it. And he's got a picture perfect view like we said out the window.
And James and Buckner Ashley sent us this picture. They're not afraid to get out and play in the snow. Not sure if there's enough for a snowman just yet. Maybe a little small one right about now.
Gotta give it a shot, especially on a Saturday. And thanks to Katie Richter, it looks like her family's already breaking out the snowblower. Good to tackle this stuff ahead of time. And as always, we want to see your pictures. As long as you are careful when you take them, send them to KRDO News at krdo.com, or you can go to our Facebook page at KRDO News Channel 13. Don't forget, for the latest weather conditions, live HD Doppler radar, and closure information as it comes in throughout the night. You can keep it tuned to the networks of KRDO on TV, on the radio, and online at krdo.com.